The Formula Drift Blackmagic Pro Championship has officially reached the halfway mark, and the chase for the championship is ramping up to historic proportions. Odi Bakshi's has 2 wins. Osbo has 1. But as we enter New Jersey, the rest of the field, including the Worthouse Boys and Ryan Turk, are surging as potential contenders. New Jersey has always been a track that brings out the best battles and craziest competition. Who will reign supreme in the Garden State? Let's find out only on Formula Drift Insider.
I can't be mad at you.
Before action ensues in New Jersey, let's take a look back at Road Atlanta, Round 3, where Formula Drift kicked things off 16 years ago.
Atlanta was a fun event for me. You know, it was cool. Everything was going very well. Then it started to rain, and like every team, it's tough. It's tough to adapt to the rain. And I was one of the battles that went in without much practice in the wet. It started to rain right before battling. So overall, a really good learning experience after the event. It was challenging, tough, and I finished top 8, which you can't really complain these days.
So coming off of Atlanta, it's one of my favorite tracks, but it was downpouring the whole time, and it made for a really crazy event. I actually had a lot of fun with it. Top 8, we have Frederick Osbo, who is like the rain master. I'm pretty sure he has won every rain event in Formula Drift. I think that's a stat. And so it was gonna be a heater for sure. I had to chase first, and we went down the straight, and he pitched it in, I threw it in with what felt like and looked like more angle and like kind of like touching, you know, rear bumpers coming into turn 1, because I knew he had the drive on us going up the hill, and I was just trying to beat him with, how would you say, not like confidence, but like commitment. So I knew that they had a better car to drive up the hill, which they did. As soon as we transferred into the right-hander, they put 2 lengths on us, but I was trying to show it to the judges that, you know, they might have the better car, but maybe a little more commitment might get us the win. We got it one more time, but overall, he got the win.
So this top 8 against Ryan Turk was tricky for me, because when I was leading, I was actually initiated a bit too fast, and then when I was transitioning, I just can see the mud in the edge of my windshield, so I didn't see clearly where I'm going. I made a correction, and that helps definitely Ryan to go through, but he was chasing me really well. He was really close and on my doors all the time, so congratulations for him for doing that. And yeah, still I think it was the best battle for that event for me.
You didn't really know what you were going to get for each battle that you were going up, and it was cool. There's like mud all over the racetrack, and the mud down in Georgia, it's like a paste. So when it gets saturated with a lot of rain, it just like floods the track, and so it's super slick in a lot of areas from that. That was mainly inner clip 1. Throughout the event, the uphill into the keyhole started drying up a lot, and that's where a lot of guys, if they're first into that dry patch, they're able to run a gap on guys. And that's what happened with me and Osbo, where he was just able to get that dry patch, pull the lead, and it was really hard to catch him at that point. So he ended up getting the win, but we were pumped. The whole team really needed that big confidence booster moving on to New Jersey.
And final run against Ryan Turk was kind of sentimental, because Ryan had a tough start to the season, crashing his car in Long Beach. They rebuilt his practice car, turned it into a pro car, and you know, they didn't have the best event in Orlando, but in Atlanta it really showed its true potential. And I think if it wasn't for Ryan having a slight mistake in the last corner, I think he could very well have taken the win.
Not only does Osbo change things up after Odi's first 2 wins, Ryan Turk, after a devastating Long Beach, gets 2nd place, and James Dean rounds out top 3. Formula Drift Insider is brought to you by Blackmagic. Own your shine. Gum Out. Science in, performance out. And by Air Force. Aim high. It's time to send it. The calm before the storm. Round 4 of the Formula Drift Blackmagic Pro Championship, deemed the Gauntlet. A sold-out crowd anticipates who's going to win.
The crowd and the vibe here is awesome. I'm from the Northeast, so I know that they get pretty rowdy up here. we've been drifting in this area for the past 20 years now, and we get people from all over the Northeast region, all the way from Canada, and then even down like halfway down the Atlantic coast. And it's really, really awesome to see just the amount of energy that comes into this small little stadium.
The car right now feels awesome. It's performing really good here in Jersey. Got a lot of grip, we're really fast, but can also really navigate the course very well, and we can also adjust to what other drivers are doing in front of us while we even have a lot of speed and grip. So it's kind of mine to lose at this point.
Being on a 5th place, it's just, you know, turning me on to actually for a good battle, because the only thing what left to me to do is simply push hard and try my best to go through. I'm really feel confident. The other thing to do is simply starts to feel a bit more positive about chasing on this track, because those transitions might be a bit tricky.
Yeah, we're sitting second in points, and you know we've been here before. The last 3 seasons we've finished second in points, and it's a great result, but we're obviously hungry for more. We want to not try and catch up to these other guys. We want to be able to lead the pack and set the pace and be the guy that everybody wants to beat. And I'm trying to be aggressive out there on track, and hopefully we can take that lead.
We are halfway through the season, and this is, I feel like, my chance to just keep that momentum going, keep the winning streak going. And we did a lot of prep, me and my crew chief, right before New Jersey. I'm feeling well here, but once again, I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself, so I just got to make sure that doesn't get to me, and I just want to have a lot of fun driving, because that's when I drive well.
With a score of 100, your number 1 Black Magic top qualifier, Justin Pollock.
Qualifying yesterday was like surreal, man. It's hard to really recall the run, but man, what an awesome feeling, and to be able to put down a perfect run in front of this crowd after 13 years of 99s, definitely an amazing feeling.
Perfection is the key after JTP's qualifying run. The championship contenders step up and advance from top 32 into top 16. Peter Visick from Poland, 3-time champ Chris Forsberg, Ryan Turk after his podium in Atlanta, Frederick Osbo sitting in second, Forrest Wang, James Dean, and our current points leader, Odie Bakshis. The question is, who's going to advance on into the Grade 8 on Formula Drift Insider? Formula Drift Insider is brought to you by Nexen Tire. We got you. NOS, High Performance Energy. How hard will you drive? And by Falcon Tires. It's a pitch-perfect day here in New Jersey at Wall Stadium Speedway. Here are your top 16 drivers, including Ryan Turk, Chris Forsberg, Jeff Jones flossing his way in, Mr. Perfect Justin Pollock, points leader Odie Bakshis, Matt Field, the Beast from the Bay, James the Machine Dean, as well as Candyman Peter Visick, FD champion Dai Yoshihara, Japanese driver Kazuya Taguchi, making the windmill RTR ready to rock Von Gittin Jr., his teammate Chelsea Denofa, also second overall last year Frederick Osbo, Ken Gushi the veteran, Forrest Wang, and another FD champion rounding out the top 16, Michael Essa.
The stands are completely packed. I mean, I don't think you can fit any more people in here.
From qualifying to top 32 and now top 16. Our first battle, Mr. Perfect. Justin Pollock with a 100-point qualifying run. He's going to need to bring it against Jeff Jones.
So yeah, I mean, I went up against Jeff Jones, top 16. Entered high on the bank, and next thing I know, I just felt like a big impact in my right rear, and obviously it was Jeff getting into me. I just kind of threw a little bit more angle on it, stayed on the gas, finished up the run. Thought, just wanted to make sure I put on a clean lead run, regardless of like what happened behind me. As I was coming around inner clip 2 to touch and go, I saw Jeff into the wall up on the fence, and we knew he was like done. So I didn't really know what exactly happened. We're just moving on to Grade 8.
Our next battle are the Blackout Boys. Good friends off the track, but now they are going for it. Chris Forsberg versus Ryan Turk.
So yeah, we just wrapped up top 16, had to run Ryan Turk, and they got that car on rails. It was looking really fast. We knew he was going to be the hardest one on our side of the bracket. Super sucks that we had to see him so early on, and we were feeling real good about getting to the podium otherwise, but he was, just like I said, on rails, super fast. He was the only car that pulled away from us all weekend, so they definitely got it hooked up, and want to see him go all the way.
Next up, Matt Field. He's ready to rip it. He's going against Forrest Wang. Two very different drivers, two very different vehicles, both gunning for the grade 8. Matt Field eventually gets the victory.
Forrest and I always have crazy battles here, and I don't think we've made it a full battle here in New Jersey without running into each other. Last year I ran into him at Interclip 1, and this year he ran into me at Outer Zone 2. On my follow run, I even tapped him leaving the outer zone, but it was a solid follow run, so I think he knew he had to push really hard following me. I was doing my thing, hitting my marks, and coming into outer zone 2, I think he pushed a little too hard and hit my rear with his rear and sent me for a spin. So fortunately, we got Johnny out there on the drone. He was right there, he was able to see everything. Makes the judge's life a little bit easier, and we got the win.
The two-time and defending champion is up next. James the Machine Dean versus another champion, Michael Essa.
Going up against Michael Essa, top 16. We both knew it was going to be a tough one. I was leading first. Pushed hard into the bank. I was super high on the bank, scraping the wall, and just as we were coming down off the bank and transitioning, he was still a bit too close, and we made contact with each other, and then he damaged something quite hard in the front of his car.
You know, I hit him pretty solid, and I know it was my fault, and I really doubt that he's going to zero out behind me or have some issue. So, you know, honestly, I feel like I know it was my fault. He didn't do anything wrong. He had a killer lead run, and so I don't want to, you know, try to rush into a 5-minute and try to get a win.
Having qualified higher than Taguchi, I led first. Trying to put down a stellar qual run. I heard him on my door on the bank, and then I couldn't hear him anymore. So he fell back a little bit, but I knew it was pretty even still. So for my chase, the plan was to do a close chase. Unfortunately, I fell back more than I was hoping to. Had some moments of being able to attack him, and luckily it was enough to move on.
We had our top 16 battle against Pitor, and I had to chase first, and I was right there on his door. He pulled me a little bit on the run-up, but I closed it immediately, got on him. Every transition was like within inches of him. I gave him a couple little bumps, but ended up finishing all right with only like 1 or 2 very minor mistakes. And then on the lead run, I went out, rode the wall all the way around, transitioned, threw a bunch of angle into the car, and I couldn't get it to come back as quickly as I'd like. So when I did transition on throttle back, Pitor, I guess, was on the inside of me, and I smashed into him pretty good, disabled his car. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with everything. Bummed that I couldn't get on the podium here because I love this track, but you know, it is what it is.
The car wasn't capable to repair it. The guys did their best, but the damage is really sufficient. So we'll see. We'll probably think about replacing the chassis. We have a spare car, so maybe that's gonna be a most realistic plan.
For the top 16, I went up against my twin brother Dai Yoshihara, and I was expecting a great battle, but unfortunately he had some car troubles and ended up stopping the drift inside clip number 1 and went right up the bank. And I honestly thought he was going to go straight off the banking and go into the crowd. But so I'm going to say that was an easy win for us against Dai.
Next battle shakes up the championship hunt. Gittin takes out Bakshis.
I was slightly lower on the bank than I would have liked to have been, but other than that, I was everywhere I needed to be, and he was shallowing up behind me. Made a couple mistakes, and you know, went to one more time. On my chase run, I just fixed everything I had to. Entered on his door on the bank, stayed glued to him the whole track, and then on my lead run, just focused on what I had to do. Put it up on the wall, rode the bank all the way, and hit all my marks. Super aggressive, big angle, and had what we, did what we need to do to seal the deal.
I got outsmarted on the start. I lost before we started drifting, and I caught up and I actually rubbed him on the last turn. He got in and took my lane right away, so I had to back off throttle.
The Grade 8 kicks off with the teal and blue Mustang of Justin Pollock versus Ryan Turk.
Just went up against JTP. I'm lucky I actually ran him in a practice lap on Friday, so I knew a little bit of how he was running. Just super stylish, big angle everywhere, and just nailing all his clips. He was 100-point qualifying run, so he was the guy to beat. I chased him on the first lap, and he was really good. Ran exactly like I expected him to. A little bit faster than I thought he was going to be, so we had to I had to kind of change my strategy a little bit and take out a little bit of angle. We stuck to his door as much as possible, switched up for the lead lap, just ran a nice qualifying lap. We got a little bit of a gap on him there towards the end. Pretty sure that's what gave us the win.
Last battle was a hard one, battling Falcon Tire teammate Matt Fields. I led first, he pushed hard. He was close to me, I think, the majority of the run through. I led a very good lead run, but I had one mistake by hitting the inside slip on the first one. Then went to chase. I chased him as hard as I could. I was very close to him, you know, throughout the infield, and just coming into the last corner, I missed a touch and go because I was blinded by the smoke. But caught back on his door and finished the run strong, and we just got the win. So it was close because one judge went with Matt and 2 went for me. So I thought it could have been one more time, or maybe him, maybe me, but we got it. Wins don't come easy in Formula Drift, so you just have to take them when you get them.
The Norwegian hammer Osbo gets a quick advancement into the Final Four after his competitor Peter Visick gets taken out in top 16 when he did battle with Chelsea Denofa.
I feel like we all got cheated for that battle. Visick has been killing it so far this weekend, and I was really looking forward to battling him. We've had some great battles before. Really respect the guy. He's one amazing driver, and here we are with him winding up with a broken car after his previous battle. Crazy, here we go, top 4, and right now I don't know who we're going against. It'll be either Gitten or Gucci. Both of them are doing really well, so right now it's trying to get in the zone, bring in my A game, and see if we can catch these guys off guard.
The final battle of Grade 8 poses 2 FD veterans, day oneers. They've been there since 2004, and now they're here fighting for glory at round 4. Vaughn Gittin Jr. and his RTR Ready to Rock Mustang versus a highly tuned Toyota Performance Toyota 86. Eventually, Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the upper hand and gets the victory. He's going on to the Final Four.
Yeah, I mean, it feels amazing to move on. You know, the rain caught us out a little bit in Atlanta, but we're getting some really good momentum leaving Florida. But, you know, I'm running Osbo. We took him out in Florida. We're going to take him out in Wall, and we're going to keep on rocking and rolling. I'm going to look forward to getting to the finals tonight.
We know Vaughn's #1 fan is cheering for him as we enter the Final Four when we return. Formula Drift Insider is sponsored by Black Magic, own your shine. Gum Out, science in, performance out. Nitto Tire, fueled by enthusiasts. And by Achilles Radial, tires you can trust. Welcome back to the Jersey Shore as we make waves into the Final Four. Our first battle is upon us, James the Machine Dean versus Ryan Turk. Both drivers had a tough start to the season.
Yeah, going against James Dean, we just had to have 0 mistakes and just run this car for all she was worth. Stayed on his door throughout the entire track. He got me a little bit on the second inner clip, reeled him right back into the finish line, finished strong. Lead lap, just ran out there, ran an awesome qualifying lap. He was close to us, really, really close to us. We just edged him out and got the win.
Ryan Turk's in the finals, and he's going against one of these gentlemen, 2 former champs, Frederick Osbo and Vaughn Gittin Jr. They both want to end up on top. Frederick Osbo slams down from the transition into the power alley. Vaughn Gittin Jr. is right there cutting through the smoke. As they alternate positions, Frederick Osbo is mirroring everywhere Vaughn Gittin Jr. goes. So eventually, the judges say, one more time. The judges want to see who is definitively going on to the finals. Frederick Osbo pushes hard, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. even harder. The pressure begins to mount.
He tapped me across the finish line and spun. I did not park it. I was getting around the corner. I'm riding the left foot brake around the entire track. It was a very miniature correction I had there, and if that was enough for him to spin, then I think he was on the edge regardless.
Vaughn Gittin and Frederick Osbo had a crazy battle. Went one more time, and on the very last lap, Vaughn made contact with the wall, unfortunately knocking himself out. But that meant that Osbo moved to the finals, and we were the next highest qualifier, which gave us 3rd place. And back at the podium, 2 events in a row, that's definitely a strong feeling.
3rd place is locked with James Dean, but the winner is to be decided. We saw these gentlemen go toe-to-toe in Atlanta, Frederick Osbo and Ryan Turk. Is the order going to stay the same, or is Ryan Turk going to create a Cinderella story from Long Beach and now here in New Jersey?
First battle with Ryan was fairly close. I still thought that maybe he had it on the first couple battles there, but the judges warranted it one more time. We went back, and then he absolutely crushed me in that one more time. He had a speed that I wasn't able to match, and maybe I was feeling a little fatigued. It's been a long night. Maybe I should start doing CrossFit like Ryan's doing.
It feels so amazing to get a win here. You know, I thought it's been since 2015 in Orlando, and you know, we didn't even battle for the win. Chris had some mechanical issue at that point, and you know, it kind of sucks to win like that. To win in a one more time battle here with one of the best on track is phenomenal. And I thought Atlanta felt like a win, and it's, you know, one step above. It's unbelievable. Hats off to my team and all the sponsors and supporters behind us. Hopefully we can keep on going.
Yeah, the thing about the series are these like great stories that come about organically, you know, naturally that come about. And for Turk to have not won an event in 4 years and to have probably the most difficult start of the season, for all he's battled through his crew, to bring that car back to life, you know, in 7 days, to hit the track and have so much consistency thereafter. You know, being second last round and winning this round is such an amazing and awesome story. I'm so happy for him and the team.
The event was incredible. I mean, this was one of the biggest New Jersey audiences that we've seen in quite some time. Tons of fans came out. They were super excited about what they were seeing. The competition lived up to those expectations, and I just am so impressed by these drivers and how they've been able to battle through adversity and really put on just a tremendous show run by run. There are really no weak battles anymore, even in the top 32.
As the champagne bottles pop, Ryan Turk comes out on top. Frederick Osbo is currently leading the points championship with his second place finish, and rounding out the top 3 is James the Machine Dean. Join us at round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship in Seattle.